Hey everybody, Elisa here. Let's see if anyone jumps on. I have put a bunch of notes together to talk to y'all about how to get 500 PRV per month. So let's see if anyone jumps on. When you do watch, or if you watch after I'm done, I will be posting the link to my notes in the comments below, and I will be putting this on my YouTube channel, so it'll be in the description of that as well. So I'm just gonna get started. You can re-watch it and comment if you'd like. But how to get 500 PRV per month. The reason I'm doing this is I myself am trying to get back into parties since COVID. I used to do a ton of parties before COVID, and now I do next to zero unless they're online. So I really want to get back into it, back to basics. So I sat this weekend and compiled notes and what I want to talk with y'all about. So what you need to do is to front load all of your parties at the beginning of the month. Why do we do this? Because say you have a host that cancels or a party that doesn't reach qualifying, you have the rest of the month to reschedule and or get them to qualifying. Preferably within the first 2 weeks. See here. It also allows you to reach out to guests for your parties to check in on their orders if they've come, as well as reach out to those guests and see if they want to host a party the following month. So if their party that the guest attended is say in the first week, they get 2 weeks later, they get their order. You check in with them and see how it went, if it's up to par, if they like it, so on and so forth. And then you can see if they would like to host a party the following month in the first week. So you're already front loading again if they say yes. Host coaching. So there is no successful party without a successful consultant and host. It is our job to get the products to them, get them the information, do all the posts, depending on what kind of party it is. It's the host's job to, at least in my opinion, get their guests there, help keep them focused, and help entertain. So it's a team effort when we do a party. It's not all the consultant and it's not all the host. So good hostess coaching is parts of a successful qualifying party. So host your coach or your host or your hostess to interact not just within an online party or in-person party, but also by posting on social media. The more they post their link, the more they share, that people they add to an online party or invite to an in-home party, the more their party is seen, whether it's word of mouth, whether it's by an email or a text, or posting on social media. The more it's seen, the more successful the party is going to be. For online parties, I recommend that your host is commenting on almost everything, tagging their guests in things that they know they like. For example, I'm a big Ariel fan. We have the Ariel warmer out right now, so I'd be most definitely be posting my Ariel fanatic friends in the Ariel post that I might have made. The host should also make their own posts within the online party as well as going live if they're comfortable with it, because your host is friends with their guests when it comes to social media and the horrible Facebook algorithms. They're most likely going to see things if the host is doing it versus you if you are not friends with any of the guests. So if the host is interacting online, it's better chance things will be seen, especially if they don't select all of their notifications to see all. So I do all my online parties within a Facebook group, and this is because if a host decides to then join and say we flip the party to them, now they already have a group started and they can turn that party group into their VIP group. So I always like to do mine in a Facebook group versus an event. When I post in my online parties, I use Visly. In my notes, I have a link for it. So if you don't know what that is, there will be that link and a promo code you can use if you want to try it out. You can also just schedule parties using the scheduler within Facebook. but I find it easy to make the templates within Visly, and then I can just apply it to all my parties if I have multiple going, which I have. For catalog bag parties, what is a catalog bag party? So this is what I used to do a lot of, like, I mean, a lot of catalog bag parties. Probably one of the easiest parties you can do. I used to have a ton of these bags. I think I'm just down to a few. So this is what was sold a long time ago in the consultant store. I don't think they have anything like this. They're more of like a fold-out one that they have now. You can use any kind of bag. I know a lot of people like to use clear bags so you can see through it. You can do this size. This is a 31 bag. You can even take your old, if you had multiple sets at one point, tester bags, and just do one in here. It doesn't have to be one just like this. And by the way, this is insulated. But it's just a borrow bag with everything they need. So I'll have a list on here of what I put in it, but I'm going to show you what I put in it. Now, this is more like a guideline. It doesn't have to be exact. I might not even have everything in here that was on this list. I just kind of put these together beforehand. So obviously on the back here, I have my business cards. I have samples and things to try that are like not wax. There you go. So this has got washer whiffs. We got counter clean, and then this has got hand soap and hand cream sample inside it. And then this is my spring 6 picks. So it's my top 6 wax picks and crinkle cut samples for them to try. So what you do with this bag is you lend it out to a host on their own time. They can share with friends at home. They can share with friends at work. Depending on what they do, they can take it to school, scouts, whatever how they interact with their friends, and they can share away. They can all smell the testers, because there'll be testers in here. Now, you can put as many testers as you want in here. My past experience is don't use full sets, because a full set is pretty expensive, and if they melt, bye-bye testers. And I'm not really willing to ask a host to replace them all, or I just feel awkward doing that. So I just use transition testers. So a transition set, this is the set you buy to transition from one catalog to the other. They're cheaper. It's not all of the testers, but it gives them a good amount. And if anything were to happen to this, it's not nearly as expensive as losing an entire full catalog bag worth. What else is there? Of course, I got a pen. I got order forms, and I highlight everything I want. Everything I want filled out. Majority of the time they do it, but I try to get them to do it. I got about 4 catalogs, and then I supplement the catalogs with product sheets in case they run out. And then I usually put warmer of the month with sample. This is just a felt sample dipped in wax. And then what other else that might be going on? Sometimes I'll have the smelly sticker rack cards still. I'll throw those in there. In the past, I just found this earlier today. I had laminated the bundle and save page. This is when it was on one page. But you can do things like that. If it was bring back my bar month, you can make a little rack card and add it in there. This is from 2020. I told you I didn't really do them anymore before COVID. Don't mind my dog barking at nothing. So that all goes in this bag, and then you lend it out, and then you set all my bag parties will get a online shopping link to shop online, as well as everything that's in here. And then if they want a Facebook portion, I will do that too. But set your time frame on when to get it back. Check in throughout your the time frame that you choose. Sometimes I also have instructions in here. If they're a seasoned catalog bag host, I might not have instructions in here. If there is not, I probably will put instructions in here. So, catalog borrow bag party. And a smaller version of that is the pouch party. Check my notes so I don't skip anything. Okay, I'm going out of order. So we're gonna talk about this here in a minute. In-home parties. So in-home parties, I recommend bringing next to nothing because you want your job, what you're doing, to look easy and be duplicatable. So anybody who's attending the party or your host thinks that they can do it too because everybody can do this. It's super easy. All right. This is my Scentsy cube. This is what I bring to a party. This is everything I bring to a party. The exception of this might be testers might not be inside here, or I might have materials for a game, or if I need to bring a table. Other than that, if it doesn't fit in this cube, box, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't go. Over my 10 years of selling, I have learned a lot about what to bring and what not to bring, and less is most definitely more. I do not bring product to sell right then and there because I want someone to order what they were 100% wanting that was in the catalog. I don't want them to settle for something that I had right then and there, even though they really wanted something else. And there might be a price difference in that. So you might have had a lower sale, a lower order than if you had not brought something with you to sell. So I do not bring things to sell. So let's see what is in here. Now I just put this together before I jumped on here. I recommend majority of your products to be current, but for example's sake, like my buddy, he's not a current one. I just grabbed him off my shelf. But you never know, if this was the only one you had to share, bring it, because then you can talk about how we've been doing every fall, bring back my buddy, and they can vote for it. So yes and no to current, especially when it comes to buddies. So I have full-size buddy, and I just ripped the thingy off. This one's been very loved. And I make sure it has a scent pack so you can demonstrate how that works. So I got a full-size buddy with scent pack. I got the scent of the month bar. I have a mini warmer. If you have a tabletop converter base and can fit it, bring that as well. In this pouch here of mine, this is an old 31 bag here with my name on it. I have, so in here somewhere is a 15 milliliter bottle of essential oils. I don't have the diffuser in here, but I want to bring up the fact that we do have essential oils on diffusers. So in here, if you have it and can make it, I have some of my smelling, my smelling samples of the 3 new ones. So that way they can smell them as well as the one I bring. I have Warmer of the Month flyers and samples, order forms, product sheets, and I got some smelly sticker sheets in here. And I got some change, I don't have a ton in here, but just in case someone's paying with cash and you need to give them some change, if you're able to, you can bring some cash. And I always bring at least one warmer. I like to try to either bring an element warmer or the warmer of the month, depending on the size of the warmer of the month and if it's an element warmer or not. But I love the fact that this Simply Diamond one is so small. So this is the one I put in here because it takes up like no room. And I can explain and tell them what an element warmer is, because I still to this day, after 10 years, people don't realize what an element warmer is, and it doesn't take a light bulb. I have had a customer, bless her heart, disassemble the letterboard warmer trying to figure out where the light bulb goes. So I always love and insist on explaining what an element warmer is, just so there's no confusion. I got full set of testers. I always like to bring a full set of testers to an in-person party. Again, you can also use transition sets. Here is that 15 milliliter bottle of oil. I have a used flower. a little stand to put it on. I think this is probably from Hobby Lobby, not Ashland. It's Michael's, but I got it at the dollar store. This is one I previously colored. You can talk about how you can color them. Be sure to say it avoids the warranty, but a great example to show its beauty and how it works in person. And then there's not a lot of mess because it's empty in use. And speaking of empty in use, so I will bring a mixture of laundry products, clean products, and bath and body products. Now, typically, I bring empty ones. Number one, it makes this bag way less heavier. And number two, if anything leaks, I'm not going to have a mess because there's nothing in there to leak. So I like to use empties if I have them. So what I threw in here is Counter Clean because that is the most popular cleaning product. I've grabbed 2 body products. Hand soap, my top seller, and the body wash. Then I got 1 room spray, 1 scent circle, 1 car bar. I have used, so I can actually show it and they can feel it, dryer disc, and this one is actually empty, of the small washer whiffs. I usually like to leave a tiny bit in there so they can actually see what the washer whiff crystals look like. I have a travel twist and a buddy clip. I have a pod pack and an extra scent pack to pass around so they can see, feel, smell, touch. I have a mini fan. I also might put a go in here as well, depending on the room. But just keeping it simple. I have clipboards if I need them. I got catalog, or no, that one's from the old. So these are, I didn't even pay attention to that when I was, so like I said, I haven't done this since before COVID and I want to start getting it again. So I might have joint brochures. These are actually ones that I had printed out in 2020. So those are right there. We used to have small testers and you can fit them right here, but I never really used it anyways because it was too much of a hassle. So that is what is in, oh, and I got catalogs right there, pens and business card. That is what is in here. The last thing that I pulled out of here, that I pulled out first, is a pouch party. So I keep one of these in my in-home party bag because if I have someone book a party, I can give this and hand this off to them right then and there to get a head start before we even plan what kind of party they're going to have, when it's going to be, and so on and so forth. I also like to keep one of these in my purse. The first time I started doing this, my mom and I were out to lunch, and the waitress actually, I gave her one of these, and she booked a party and ended up having a $700 in-home party. So you never know what can happen when you get things in their hand. This is like just a minier version of the catalog borrow bag. So you got business cards and a pen. There is maybe 10 or less testers in here. I got catalogs. So there's catalogs right there. There's some product sheets somewheres. Got the Scent and Warmer the Month flyer. Oh, there's the product sheets. Got product sheets right there. And then some smelly sticker wrap cards that I still have. So this is something that I lend out, but technically, if I'm lending it out, I'm not going to get this back unless they actually book a party. So anything that goes in here, I'm okay with not getting back. The pencil pouch here I got for like $1 at Goodwill. So you can get things at Goodwill. I've had ones from a dollar store, but it's just cheap. Didn't pay much next to anything on there. I just put a sticker on there so it has my face on it. But that is pouch party, and I put that in my party in-home cube, or I put one in my purse. All right, let's see where we are in my notes. So when it comes to in-home one, that is all I bring. Mixture depending on what might be also available. So depending on what LTOs might be out, what specials might be going, what collections might be out. I might change it up because, say, spring bricks, I don't have the spring bricks right now on hand, but if I have one, I can bring at least one of them with me to an in-home party. I might add more, I might remove some, but again, if it doesn't fit in my cube, it doesn't go. Like I said, the very last exception is going to be if I need to bring a table, if I have game stuff, and if I didn't put my actual testers in the cube. Those are really my only exceptions. This minimal party works great in homes as well as coffee shops. I used to do coffee shop parties where other moms and I would hang out, and one mom would be the host, and I would bring that cube to Starbucks, spread everything down the middle of the table, and we'd all get coffee and sit around the coffee table and just sit and enjoy ourselves, smell, order, and it was a lot of fun. So having a party that's not at a person's house is awesome because then your host doesn't have to clean. So I love doing coffee shop parties. It's another thing I want to get back into. No matter the party type, every party gets an online shopping link, an event or party group, depending on if what kind of party is and what your host prefers. But these are totally doable. Less is more. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below at any time, and I'll get back and answer those. For 500, so moving forward here, to get 500 PRV every month, just break it down per day. So for each day, there's 31 days in a week, all you need is $17 in sales each day. That's a 3-pack of wax every day for the month, and you'll have over 500. For 4 weeks, all you need is 125 per week. For every 2 weeks, all you need is 250 a week. That's basically doing 2 parties every 2 weeks at 250. This is totally doable, guys. Main reason I want to get back into parties is that is how I grew my customer base when I first started. I grew it large. In the fall, I'd be sometimes doing 10 parties a month. It's not all in-home, don't worry. Mixture of in-home and catalog bag parties. But that's how I expanded. That's how you meet people, is by getting yourself out there, doing these parties, doing events. If you're not an in-home party person, then I highly recommend the borrow bags and the pouch parties. Front loading your PRV at the beginning of the month. If you have any on-hand products and you sell it during the month, say by April right now, say by April 25th, you sold $100 within on-hand products, and you have already met your PRV goal of 500. Why not strategically place or restock that money to get your PRV, because that's the goal, right? The following month. So if you have, if you sell, let's see, getting ahead of myself here. So you don't always have to restock it, number one. But if your goal is the PRV, and then you say it was something you had for a while on hand, and then now you can restock it with something that's new. So if you're going from fall, winter to spring, summer, now you can restock it with something current. So again, you don't have to restock. I do it a lot of times, not all the time, and that's how I strategically place my orders when I restock things I have on hand. Why are you doing this? You now put yourself 100 PRV ahead for the following month. So if you already reached your PRV goal for 500 in April, you have $100 in hand you can place it on May 1st. Now that puts you $100 ahead of the game for May to reach your 500 PRV goal. That changes your daily and weekly to, let's see here, $13 in PRV a day, $100 a week, or $200 every 2 weeks. So that lessens the amount, lessens the burden for you, however you like to break it down for the following month. And the more you put yourself ahead in reaching your goals, the easier it is to maintain it. And the more you maintain your 500 PRV, the more likely it's going to start to increase more each month. Follow-up is key. what are you doing to follow up with your customers throughout the month? So they repeat their orders every month or every 3 months. What are you doing to check in on them? So on and so forth. So I made a list of the things that I do. So every order that gets placed on my website gets Happy Mail. Let's see where I put it. Right here. I have a little bit I can show you. I also included on my notes, and it's on my YouTube channel. This is the YouTube video to my Happy Mail, so you can check that out more in depth. But everybody gets handwritten notes, and this is a handwritten copy note, but it's still handwritten, and that's why, because I do about 20 or so, sometimes a month, and my hand hurts by the time if I'm writing them out. So I make stationery, and then I write out my note on my iPad Pro, and I print it. I don't print it, sorry. I write it out on my iPad Pro, and then I just print it after I'm done. And I print however many I need. So this is April, so we got April showers. I like to theme it with what's going on, and so on and so forth. So it has a handwritten thank you note. They all get a scent circle. They get my newsletter. So here is the newsletter for April. They get product tear sheets, especially if they're new. If I know they already have this, I might not send this, but product tear sheets. The warmer and scent of the month flyer with sample, and then I like to use colored envelopes, because if it's coming white, it's going to be a bill, and you know when you get a birthday card in the mail and it's going to be a colored envelope 9 times out of 10, you're like, ooh, that's good mail. So I like colored mail. I use 2 different kinds. I have the traditional kind, and I'm loving these open-ended ones a lot. And these all this ships for 1 butterfly non-machinable 2-ounce stamp, which I think right now they are up to 90 cents. They used to be like 70 cents. So everybody who orders online gets thank you mail. They might get some kind of promotional card, say going back to the, they might get some kind of bring back my bar card if it's bring back my bar month. It's the beginning of a catalog. They might get one of these smelly sticker cards. Depending on what's going on is when I switch things up. I might make coupons and send them out. Let's see, my business card. Put a business card in there. I also put like it, love it, brag and tab type things in there to post what they had gotten on social media and tag me. Let's see here, what's next? So everyone who orders online gets the Happy Mail. They also get a thank you text through Project Broadcast. So I have a thank you Project Broadcast campaign. So they get a thank you text that has a thank you message, excuse me, as well as an image. And then 2 weeks later, I believe it is, they get a checking in text message. And then 60 days later, they get a voicemail checking in one more time. So everybody who orders online, I automatically enroll them in that. They opt out. If they opt out, I only contact them by email. I have auto reply for that. If they say stop, then I just add them to my email list and I tell them that I'll add them there. The first of each month, I will text my newsletter to my customers through Project Broadcast. If they have opted out, I use their email. Every month now, I have been printing out the planning ahead documents, and I have been using Project Broadcast for this. And if they text calendar to my Project Broadcast number, it'll auto reply an image and the list of the items that are upcoming on that planning ahead document. So they'll get my calendar image, and they'll get basically all the stuff that's coming currently that month, or might have already come. I just put whatever's coming in April is what's in my April calendar reply text. You can also do this by using your own phone number and having them text you the word and then just copy and paste a message that you have either on a note in your phone, or if you use boards, that's a great way to just insert the information if they text you calendar. So you don't even have to have Project Broadcast for this. It just makes it a little bit easier, but if it's not within your budget, you can just use your regular phone. And if you're wondering by now what Project Broadcast is, I also put a referral link right there within these notes you can click on. Top 10 tips. So I made a list of 10 tips for you, and I'm going to read them off for you. Whatever you do, do it consistently. If you're not consistent with things, then the outcomes aren't going to be consistent. If you're not consistent with follow-up, you're not going to be consistent with reorders from your customers. Make everything you do duplicatable. Again, with the party, in-home party cube that I have here, make it look easy. For people to join your team, you want things to look easy because it is easy. You don't want to make it harder than it has to be. You do not have to do all the frilly extra stuff. Stick to your budget and don't use family money on Scentsy, was what Orville says a lot. So if you don't have if it's not within your budget to make smelly sticker rack cards, if it's not in your budget to print out little cards to go on your tear sheets or newsletters, you can just only email newsletters too. Don't do it. Don't do all the extra stuff. You do not have to do all the extra frilly things. Don't spend family money on Scentsy. Number one thing, or one of them. Remember, everyone started at the beginning. Do not compare yourself to someone who's been selling for 10 years, especially if you just started. Remember, we all start out at zero. Do not compare yourself to someone who has been doing it for 10 years, 5 years, 3 years. We all started at the same spot. We're all here to help you. We're all one big family, so be sure to reach out to your sponsor, to your leaders, because we all want you to succeed. But don't sell yourself short because this person over here is doing XYZ in higher amounts than this person over here who just started. Don't compare yourself to someone who's been around a long time when you just started. You're just learning everything, and we're here to help you. Work at a comfortable pace. Work at a comfortable pace that's perfect for you. Add more work hours. Take work hours away. That's the beauty of the business. We get to choose how much. Here's another one. We get to choose how much we work. So work a little bit, work a lot, work 10 minutes every day, work 15 minutes every day, work 3 hours a day. The amount of work you put in is going to be how much you return, because I always say you have to work this like a business or it's not going to work. If you want it to be a hobby, work it like a hobby. Whether you're a minimalist, whether you're a hobbyist, whether you're a full-blown business with this, you decide how often you work and how little and how much you work. Just remember that. You have to put in the work. Things are not going to fall in your lap. Like I mentioned before, I used to do 10 parties in a month. That is a lot of work, and I have many customers because of it. You have to do the work. If you want it to be a bigger business, you have to put in the work. You can't just expect everything just to find you, orders to fall in your lap. You have to seek them. You have to follow up with customers. So don't just think things are going to fall in your lap. Your sponsor and leaders want you to succeed. Don't forget they are a resource for you. 100%. We are here for you. We are your biggest cheerleaders, and we want you to succeed. So don't forget to reach out. Workstation first, sponsor, leaders, in that order. Your best customers are going to be your best teammates. Don't be afraid to recruit your best customers, because you never know, they could be your next rock star. They won't be if you're too afraid to try and recruit them. So don't be afraid to recruit your best customer, because they might be that awesome rock star. Fellow Scentsy consultants. Okay, this one I am a firm believer of because I'm big on friends. And we're all people, we're all human, and we're all family. Scentsy consultants are not competition. They are our family. Make friends, and you never know, you just might have someone to help you along the way as well. I have made friends with so many other consultants. When I needed something or was searching for something for my customer, that the other consultant that I don't really know, not on my team, they help me out. Making friends, they might drop off at one point and they might come back later and they want to be underneath you. Now you have a new teammate. Play nice. We're all friends. We're all family here. We're not competition. Scentsy spirit, for sure. You might just find your new best friend. So, speaking of friends, number 10 is not really a tip. It's more of what I've said since I was little. My mother says I collect friends. Like in high school, I didn't belong to any little cliques. I had friends in every single one. So here's my motto. There's no such thing as strangers. It's friends you haven't met yet. So don't be afraid to talk to people. And I'm laughing as I read this. It takes me back to, we have what's called in Portland, the Max train, which is like the electric train. And when I was younger, I would ride it with my grandma, and I would go to the weirdest looking person on the train and sit next to him and go, "Hi, what's your name? What's your favorite color?" So as I was reading this, that's why I was chuckling. Yes, I'm that child, or was that child. Thank you so much for joining me today. That's all I have. I hope you love this training. Please sure to like it on my YouTube channel and follow me. If you're not in my consultant only group where I post all my tools and templates and trainings and so on and so forth, I'll have the link right here in my notes. It is called Elisa's Toolbox. If you're watching this and are interested in joining my team, because you might be watching this on YouTube, if you're in my team right now, hi guys. Team Senslers. If you're watching this later, you can check out my virtual join packets if you are not a consultant. And I'm just an army wife, mama 3, just working to reach my goals and my dreams. Thanks again for watching. At the end of my notes, I have included a bunch of different links. Let's see, I'll just read them real quick. My April newsletter, Canva templates. YouTube clickable and scrollable parties, another way to party. YouTube have a party without having a party, which shows off how I use those scrollable parties. The April scrollable party Canva template. Spring summer 2023 smelly sticker rack card, which includes the single rack card template, the double rack card, and a video on how I edit them. YouTube for my Scentsy Spring Summer 23 branding, YouTube Scentsy pouch parties, and then an event setup on YouTube. So there's a bunch of links on there that you can take a look at some other stuff, and be sure to join that group of mine. If you're watching this in our team page, Team Sensingers, I post everything in here as well. For everybody else, I post it in Elisa's Toolbox. Thanks so much again for watching. If you have any questions, please comment below, and hope you have an amazing day. Bye.